Hey, this is Sung. I'm here to answer a few of the questions that I received via text from this past Sunday's message on narcissism and self-esteem. So one of the questions that I received was this: to avoid creating narcissists, should we avoid telling our kids how beautiful, smart they are? And I think that's really a yes and no answer. I think for parents it's really easy to praise their kids because we assume that praise and self-esteem and performance rise and fall together, when in fact high self-esteem doesn't necessarily improve grades or career achievement. There is no direct correlation between those things. In one article that I read this past week, it highlighted the story of a young boy named Thomas who was accepted into a very prestigious elementary school, and he was very smart. He was in the top 1% of the top 1%. And however, being smart, or even viewed as smart, didn't translate to confidence because he didn't want to try things that he wouldn't be successful at. So it actually created more insecurity and fear. And when things became difficult, he would give up immediately and just conclude, well, I'm not good at this. So rather than exerting effort, he would resign himself and justify himself to failure in that area, thereby underestimating the importance of effort. And so I think as parents, it's important to not just tell our kids how beautiful and smart they are, because unconditional praise, this article concluded, doesn't prevent underperformance, it actually causes it. In contrast, when kids are praised for effort, they come to see themselves as in control of their own success, which actually creates a healthy sense of self-esteem. So a few suggestions about this when it comes to telling our kids how beautiful and smart they are. First, instead of praising them for their intelligence or beauty, things that are outside of their control, praise them for their effort and their hard work and their ability to persevere through difficulty. Praise them for character development. Praise them for, be specific about your praise. For example, when you see your child going to their sibling and apologizing for hitting them, praise them for that, more so than just individual attributes of intelligence and beauty that will just create narcissism. Praise them for their effort and encourage character development. Now, kids who are overpraised, offered unconditional praise, become so overly concerned with their image and their sense of trying to maintain their parents' expectations, meet their parents' expectations, that these kids actually become more aggressive and more apt to tear others down. And some of these kids resort to lying or cheating, not because they have low self-esteem, but because they can't handle failure. They don't know what it looks like to persevere through through difficulties. And so praise their effort and hard work and character development. Be specific about praise. But most importantly, I would say encourage them in a way that helps them wrap their identity in Christ, not in themselves. When you say, well, you're beautiful and smart, you're just really creating very vain, narcissistic kids. So one thing that you can do when you tell them, I mean, this doesn't mean you should never tell them they're beautiful. Of course not. But tell them that they're beautiful, but also show them that beauty is more than skin deep. There's external beauty, but more importantly, there's internal beauty. And that the source of their beauty is because they are made in God's image. Now, that creates a very different sense of identity than just saying, you're so pretty, you're prettier than all the other girls in your class. You're so smart. You're going to go to the best schools, and you're going to be you're going to go to Harvard. That may set them up for failure more so than success. And so when you help them wrap their identity in Christ, when you say that that they're beautiful on the inside, and that obedience to God and humility is beautiful before God, I think that communicates something different than just telling them how beautiful they are on the outside. So should we avoid telling our kids how beautiful and smart they are? Yes and no.